Hello everyone, I'm RobtheMod. Welcome to part 48 of Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5. 3 days remaining on the weekly challenge, which is what I'll be doing. I'll be doing these in this episode. But first, before I start this, there's actually one additional thing I want to start. Hello everyone, I'm RobtheMod. Welcome to part 48 of Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5. And we're going to be doing the weekly challenges in this episode, but there's one thing I want to do before we start, which is we're going to go into Brand Central, and you'll notice I have an invitation, and it's in Europe, and it's in Italy, or Ferrari. There's actually three cars that you can get from Ferrari that are invitation only. The LaFerrari 13, the Enzo Ferrari 02, and the FXXK 14. And I'm gonna go for the LaFerrari. I know I said I wanted the Enzo in the last episode, but I don't think I've driven this in a racing game. I'm gonna be honest. Earned a trophy. What? Got 1,600. I just realised that, you know, spending 20 million credits isn't going to actually get us to rank 50, is it? That's going to be a lot more things. Do I still have an invitation? Really? Gonna just let me? So I can just, if I want to, I could just get all three of these. I might do that. I didn't know that was a thing. I might just grind and get all three Ferraris then. Obviously, I got that in a roulette ticket. Anyway, like I said, we're going to move on to the weekly challenges. Sunday Cup Classic, American Sunday Cup 600, Vision Gran Turismo Trophy, which we've done that. The Hypercar Parade, which we didn't do in the last episode because it's a bonus one. And the All Japan GT Car Champion. Right, let's start with you. See what cars are available as an option. It just has to be a road car. And I can literally just pick the LaFerrari. Okay, I guess I'll just drive the LaFerrari then. Just cheat this thing. Why the hell not, you know? I'm in that view because I was just using it for the grinding. I haven't done the Spa race today. I don't know if I will. I mean, I probably will. God, these guys are so slow. Who would have guessed? They're probably like, what the hell? How is this guy allowed to race? Which is completely understandable. If I was them, I'd be pissed as well. But I just want to get this out of the way. And I didn't want to drive a slow-ass car. Well, that's a interesting rear view out of this thing. There's actually a new update coming out. Well, I say coming out. By the time you guys see this, it will obviously be out. It'll be out for a couple of weeks. Well, months, in fact. It's the July update. Coming out at the end of July. Adds 6 new cars and a new track. Obviously, I'll be doing some... I'm assuming that, like, the weekly challenges are going to include that new track on the first one. So, of course, we are definitely going to be trying that out. And yes, we will also be using this car in the Hypercar Parade. If it will let us. There's no way it won't. And you know, for this car being so much faster than everyone else, it's... I mean, I know we're just going past them over there now, but... We're not that... I mean, we're 30 seconds ahead, yeah, but... On the map, it does not look that far ahead. Now, this is where Verstappen and... Oh, God. Yeah, that's where Verstappen and Hamilton had an incident before. I don't even watch F1, and I know that happened. I mean, they've had a lot of incidents together, haven't they? But yeah, the next rank we need to get up to is rank 30. Well, collector levels 39. Which that looks like it's going to be a long time from now then, if... Because I was thinking that, like, you spent 20 million credits, you got, you know, 20 million points on your collector's level. But no, it's divided by 1,000. Or 100, whatever, like, the thing is 100, whatever. It's essentially, so I spent 1.6 million credits and I only got 1,600 points. And you need... You need like 36,000 credits or something per level. I think is a bit bullshit. We're gonna lap this guy. Sorry! Oh, well, we didn't technically lap him because he went over the finish line, but... Right. 30 grand for that. Wasn't great. But we got an extra 100 grand for completing the weekly challenge. Which is good. So let's exit out of this. Adjust my hair again. This needs cutting. I've mentioned that. Why do I always exit out instead of just going straight up? Ooh. 5 events is 500,000 credits. Okay, American Sunday Cup 600. We've won this before. I'm pretty sure we won it in this before. But we can literally just get in the Infinity. Which is American. I'm trying. Oh, God, I did hit him. I was trying not to hit him. Because I want to get a clean race. I want to have a clean race, like, if I can. Doesn't help when everyone goes so slow in front of you. Like, I'm surprised it doesn't have, like, a PP limit. Oh, you hit me! That ain't my fault, that. Granted, I was overtaken and I probably shouldn't, but... You know, he was the one that caught the back end of me. There we go, there's something reasonably fast. It's a Dodge Viper. Don't know what model yet. Find out when I overtake it. That's a Corvette from 58. This is a Dodge Viper from '02. I had a feeling it was like an '02 Dodge Viper. Or like a 2000s. I couldn't remember the exact model yet. Just from playing various racing games, obviously, over the years. Most Wanted in particular, obviously, but even just Gran Turismo 3 back on the PS2, that just screamed early 2000s Viper to me. The next video, by the way, next week, I'm gonna do... I mean, if I need to spend money getting these cars, right? Like, if getting the 20 million credit car is kind of pointless. But it's not pointless, but, you know, if getting the 20 million credit car doesn't really help me as much as I thought it would, then I may as well do some of those extra menu books while I have the credits. The only thing is I need to remember to take the wish list off some of them that I've already got. Because it did that for the used cars already, but it hasn't done it for the new ones, because obviously you can just buy them anytime you want. I need to remember to take off the ones I've already got. And then I'll, like, while these videos are getting converted, although to be fair, I might not even need to convert them. Like, I'm gonna have to convert these, like, these two videos today. But OBS actually, which is the recording software, they just came out with an update. And it adds something very, very interesting in, which will be very, very useful for me. Because what the issue is that basically, when I record them in MKV format. And editing software doesn't particularly like MKVs. It prefers you to... it prefers MP4. I mean, there's better formats than MP4, but, like, you know what I mean. It definitely prefers MP4 over MKV. Like, Sony Vegas wouldn't even accept MKVs. That's how bad it is, right? Like, I don't know if Premiere, which is what I'm using now, supports it, but, like, I don't think it does. So it needs to be converted to MP4. And the reason I use MKV is because it's very, very robust. If you... we're in a Vision Gran Turismo car, right? So we... Faster one? Yes, that. Oh, look, we need to, like... Get into the detailed settings. There we go. Power restrictor. Just... $850. My car's acceptable now. Accessible. But 7 laps? Oh, Christ. Okay, I didn't realise it was less many laps, but whatever. Right, we're doing it. Anyway, as I was saying, so, yeah, MKVs, they're very robust, right? So if you suffer a power cut, right, which I've had happen while I've been recording. Admittedly, it was only once, but, you know, if you suffer one, out of the way. If you suffer one, the MKV will... Obviously, the recording will stop, but the MKV file won't be corrupt. Whereas an MP4 file requires a kind of header, or not, or footer really, at the end, that basically says, hey, this file's finished, you can play it. Because if you put it into a... like, if you put a corrupted MKV file... if you put a corrupted MKV file into Handbrake, it's going to read it. If you put a corrupted MP4 file into Handbrake, it's just going to say, yeah, there's nothing I can do. You try and play it with VLC, it's not going to work. Like, basically, MP4s, they're, you know, if they don't get finalized effectively, you are screwed. Whatever you recorded is done. Now, OBS just did an update, and the fun thing about MP4s is they are open source as a format. So is MKV, I believe. Right? And well, I say open source. The weird thing about MP4s is that they were actually invented by Apple. I know Apple making something open source, but no, what happened was Apple made QuickTime and they used MOV files, and which aren't open source, they're closed source. But then the international, I mean, I only know this because I was literally just reading the interesting, well, not interesting, but like the kind of, you know, the notes on this new format that OBS has implemented. Right, so it's so it was talking about the history of MP4s. So it was like Apple introduced MOVs, MOVs, and using QuickTime, and that's how like basically the International Standards Authority, or whatever they're called, organization. That's it. The ISO. They came in and they basically said, we'd like to make this an open standard, open source, you know, whatever. And Apple was like, yeah, okay, but it can't be an MOV, you got to make it something else. And then MP4 was born, basically. So, because they wanted to basically make a standard, you know, video format for computers. And yeah, that's basically what happened. So an MP4 file is basically a MOV file with some special changes, I guess, on it to make it kind of open, and that's why a QuickTime on a Mac from like the 90s can still play MP4 files and whatever. Anyway, the point is, right, with it being an open standard, for whatever reason, this hasn't been done before, but OBS kind of took a look at it, mainly because it's not really a problem for like anyone, really, unless you're doing like a live record. Like anyone doing it, like it's only like really YouTubers like those that like need to worry about it, because like if you're doing anything professionally, it's either going to be on like a phone or a phone, a camera, or something where it's got its own battery and whatever, and it can detect that it's got a power cut and save the file quickly before it gets turned off, or and finalize it, or they are using it on like PC. They're making it on PCs and whatever, and they've actually, you know, got uninterruptible power supplies and whatever, battery banks that keep a device running until you, like, it gives you a warning that it's got no power, and say it gives you like 5 minutes, or like half an hour's worth of thing where it's like you can shut the device down and make sure all your data's saved. But like YouTubers like me, you know, even like hugely popular YouTubers don't really have those. Because, you know, they're expensive, and, you know, power cuts are not really that common. But yeah, the whole thing with what OBS has just done in this update is they've basically introduced something called a fragmented MP4. So it kind of works like an MKV file, basically, in the fact that if it loses power, if your computer loses power, you can, like, it will work basically if the file is corrupt in that manner anyway. It doesn't require the footer at the end of the file saying, hey, this file's finalized. And reportedly, it completely works with all video editing programs and stuff like that. So that'd be incredibly useful, because it means I won't actually have to convert the file from MKV to MP4. So that's good for me. And good for you, because it technically means more content, I guess. Because you guys have no idea like how much of my time is basically wasted waiting for conversions to happen or renders to happen and whatever. So yeah, that's very, very, very useful. Like, if this video is an hour long, I don't know how long it's going to be, obviously, but like if the raw footage for this is an hour long, with it being 4K HDR, it will probably take about that amount of time to convert it. Whereas if I was asking it to just be 1080p, then in SDR, then it would be you know, it'd take my computer like 15 minutes or whatever to do it. But because I like having the highest quality for you guys, it takes about as long as the video is to be converted. And then don't even get me started on rendering, because really, really stupid. If you use HDR, you can't actually use your graphics card to render in both Sony Vegas and in what's it got in Premiere. You have to use software encoding, which is using the CPU. So that, like the last Gran Turismo video, 3 hours that took to render. Now, granted, I was doing other things while that happened, but like, it's kind of ridiculous. I can't wait for them to add that as like, come on, Adobe, you've got to add like hardware encoding for HDR. You just got to. I know you're probably expecting like everyone that has that is doing that to have like a Threadripper and whatever, but no. And you know what's even more stupid, right? Okay, so you guys won't see it for ages, right? But the game that I like, because you're unaware, like I've recorded like 2 years in advance, basically, because there's a lot of the content on this channel is old stuff, as you guys know if you check the community tab. So that meant I only had like about a couple of months like to record. So I've kind of, you know, basically I had like 3 months worth of content done, and then you can't record any. Well, you can upload obviously, but you can't schedule content more than 2 years in advance on YouTube, which is understandable, but also kind of annoying because it means that, you know, I've got this stuff that I want. You know, I finish a game and I want to schedule it, and I can't because I have to wait for the months to go for the, you know, so I can schedule it. Kind of annoying. But yeah, the game, I'm not going to tell you what game it is, but basically I did a little test. I wanted to check because I got a MacBook Air, because I plan to do like a bunch of Sonic games. I haven't played a Sonic game since Sonic Generations. So at some point I'm going to do Sonic Forces. I'm going to do Sonic Frontiers. And then I want to play Sonic Dream Team, which is Mac only, or Apple Arcade only, I should say, at this moment in time. Now, last time Sega did an Apple Arcade only game, instead of releasing it on different systems, they pulled it from Apple Arcade. We don't know what's going to happen, because obviously some Apple Arcade games have only been exclusive for a year, some have not and been pulled, so we will find out what exactly happens. But anyway, yeah, I didn't just get the Mac to play that. I wanted a laptop, you know, that would be kind of powerful and also use. And I didn't buy it brand new, I got it used. It was like buying, it's like a 4-year-old laptop, and it's still more powerful than, like, at the price that it was, than like Windows laptops I could have got. So there's no, like, I may as well, right? So anyway, I ended up getting it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna test, because people are like, oh, you know, people are like the MacBook Air or the M1 chip that's in the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro or whatever. You know, they're so good. You can do, you can even do, even though it's a fanless computer, it's a fanless laptop. So like you can still do 4K HDR video on it. Like, okay, I mean, it gets hot. I'll grant you that. It gets hot when you do that. But I tested it. I did a 5-minute video, 4K HDR, in like, you know, with a future game. And I was like, we'll see. We'll see how fast this is. And granted, 5-minute video, not that long. Actually, it might be 10 minutes, whatever. Point is, right, I rendered that. Fanless laptop, remember? Right? It got hot, but still, right? So I don't know if it was thermal throttling, but even then, it still rendered the 4K HDR video in, oh god, it still rendered the 4K HDR video in like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, even if it was 5 minutes and the video was 5 minutes long, that's still, you know, level with the length. Which is about what it is when my computer is... Because this is what's really stupid, right? So, when I do the thing in Handbrake is converting the 4K HDR file using my graphics card. And yet, apparently, for Adobe, and Sony, or Magix as it's called now, Magix Vegas, they can't use my my GPU for rendering, really, and yet they'll use it for literally anything else. Like when Mario got because Mario Golf goes on hiatus in a couple of weeks, even though it doesn't, because it's going to immediately come back like Gran Turismo 6 did, right? But it's back in the day I put it on hiatus and I was like, I'm coming back to it, and then I decided to come back to it. So yeah, Mario Golf, when that comes back and you guys see that in a few weeks, that's only going to be 1080p because that's what the rest of the game was recorded at. So there's no point me, you know, recording it at 4K and whatever, even though I could. Right? I mean, it's a Switch. There's no point recording it at 4K. The damn thing doesn't support it. But anyway, right? Those videos will get rendered on my GPU. It's not like Premiere doesn't support rendering on the GPU. They just don't support it for like HDR, and I don't know why. Maserati MC12. That looks... Is that basically this thing? No, it can't be this thing, because this is a 13. This has to be another Ferrari, then. God, I have to brake hard. God, how slow do you want me to go for this corner? I mean, I know it's a tight corner, but... I mean, you saw in the first corner I did, I literally just basically hit the wall. I don't think I'm getting a clean race bonus on this one. Ooh. It's a Bugatti. Specifically, it's a Veyron. God, this... I don't want to insult, like, Ferrari. Right, but this thing handles terribly. Well, it feels better in like an actual first-person view. The reason, by the way, with the Vision Gran Turismo cars, they don't have this view, or only some of them do. I think the Audi has this view. Actually, I should have used that view for the Audi, but I know the Infiniti doesn't because it put it on the bumper view automatically. Here we go. Here's the Enzo. Come on, let's get past the Enzo. I mean, there's 11 years difference in technology between the two cars. Even though I'm still going to buy one. turn, car. There we go. 3 laps of this. So this video's over half an hour long. I can tell you that much. And we've still got one more race to do. This the straight line section? Yes, it is. Right. No, it isn't actually. We've got another corner coming up. One day I shall learn this track. I braked a little bit earlier there. But I didn't. And then we've got a left. Okay. I guess we're not going towards that bridge, are we? I can't. We must be going. Yeah, we're going towards that bridge. But this is a long track then. That bridge looks further away. To be fair, when I said it. Right. Now we can go full throttle in this thing. Only 4 seconds. I mean, you can still see the Enzo behind us there. Slow, do you want me to go for this corner? And the funny thing is, it was still doing like 60, 70 mile an hour around it. It just... I mentioned this in the last Gran Turismo. In the hypercar parade. Ironically, yeah, it was the hypercar parade one. I was like, it just feels so slow, even though it's... We're doing 80 mile an hour. There's not really... the sense of speed is only when you're doing like nearly 200 mile an hour. There's not a sense of speed when we're kind of doing 80 or whatever, which is... just feels wrong. There should absolutely be a sense of speed when we're doing like 80 mile an hour. Okay, final lap. There we go, I actually managed to turn and not hit anything there. I don't know what the radar thing's for. I mean, I think it's so we can kind of see just exactly where on the track we are, but I've never really used it. And quite frankly, I think we can see where on the track we are. Oh god. Yeah, of course that happened as soon as I said that. That's because I didn't brake in it. Like, it told me to brake as I was going into the corner. And that's why it tells you to go so slow on the, at the end of the bridge. I need a sip of water. And my throat's getting dry. This is the whole problem with when you talk for so long. It's what kind of happened at the end of the last episode. But thankfully, we have a long straight that I can actually use to take a sip. There we go. And we also have this straight. You can still see him. Come on. Slow down to the necessary speed to get around the corner. They've even gained something on me there. Maybe this wasn't the right car for the track. Maybe we should have picked the Lamborghini. We only got 90,000 for that. Now I'm out of water, which is great if the last race is quite long. I don't also think we got the clean race bonus, did we? Unless it's a special event. We have been. We can apparently still be in this. What's the average? Okay. Well, guess what? We're being in this. We're setting it up for Sedina. Because it's got more PP. 7 laps. I said watch this be really long. Is this actually using fuel? We're gonna find out. I don't think it is. I don't think this is using fuel because it's not giving me the fuel map option. That's what I was looking for there. Come on, out of the way. But this is so drifty because it's set up for the another track. Would have guessed. It's got a tune on it for well, there's, as you saw, there's 2 tunes. There's one for Le Mans and one for Sedina or whatever it's called. And the idea basically being you know, they're basically perfectly set up for that track, so it's very, very easy to get into first place. And for some of the corners, you need to kind of slide the back end out. That's why this one is a bit like this. Right, because you can kind of drift around them instead of braking so hard. But it's not exactly great for this track. Maybe I should have put harder tyres on. the way, Mr. Ferrari. A second. We'll get past it. There we go. The F40. I still want... I hope the F50's in this game. I think I mentioned that before. I don't know... Oh, there we go. We were losing the back end slightly there. I hope I mentioned it before. I do like the look of the F50. Ever since I kind of saw one in real life, I honestly can't believe it. Right? Okay, so it's like 5 or 6. And I'm just going to the supermarket. Bear in mind, I'm in like the north of England, right? So it's not... I mean, there's a guy in my town that has like a Lamborghini. But like that's it. Right? You're not really seeing... And that was years ago. I haven't seen him in ages. Right, he was a Lamborghini Gallardo. So it's we're not on about like absolutely like I see supercars every single day and everything. Like some people in London do. You know, if you're in the super rich area, right? So I'm just randomly going to the supermarket with my parents, and like this guy parks outside the front, and he's in a Ferrari F50. He's just like, oh, I was driving to... I think he's like... He was Scottish, so he was probably like, you know... He was going back up north. And, yeah. And he let me sit in it, and I have a picture of me in a Ferrari F50. Somewhere. I haven't seen it in ages. But, yeah. I just know there is a picture of me in a Ferrari F50. Which is cool. Come on, let's get past you. So I do want to get an F50 in this game. Because it does mean... It's weird. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I know why the car means a lot to me. It's also because I played I like driving it in Outrun 2006 back on the PS2. But like, yeah, the F50 is kind of a special car to me, and I do want to get one. But it's a 90s car, so it's going to be not in the dealership. I don't think. I think it's going to be a used car, and therefore a little bit... I mean, if it's even in the game. I imagine it's in the game. There's no way it's not, but... If the F40's in the game and the Enzo's in the game, then there's no way they haven't put the F50 in, but... some point, I'm going... Well, I mean, this is the exact same car ahead of me. I'm behind an NSX. Why don't you drift like that, buddy? God, guy in first is really far ahead. 5 seconds. I mean, we're gaining on him, but still. Yeah, I can't believe I accidentally got basically what is the meta car by accident. I was just kind of looking through the... And this is like a DLC car as well, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the game at launch. Because they keep adding new cars as DLC. Right? So... Well, not DLC, just free updates. And I was just kind of in the Legend car dealership, and I was like... I have a couple of million. I'm going to get a Legend car. And I saw this, I went, well, I like the NSX. Well, I go for the NSX race car, because it kind of, you know, reminds me of Gran Turismo 3, because this car's in Gran Turismo 3. I'm like, I'm going to go for it. And then I found out it's the car that basically everyone uses on Le Mans for grinding credits. So I'm like, perfect. There's actually like a 2008 version as well, I believe. Could be wrong on that. But when did Honda stop selling the NSX? I'm pretty sure. I know they make a new one, but like, I'm pretty sure like the NSX they stopped selling in like 2004. But like, there's an '08 version. I'm sure I've seen that in someone's video. When I was looking up credit grinding methods. After I kind of found out it was the, it was this, you know, it was this car. Or basically the NSX in general. Can we get past this McLaren F1? There we go. Actually, kind of like the SLR's got to be in this game, right? The McLaren SLR, but like, is it going to be in the Mercedes or McLaren? I want to know. I think it's going to be in the Mercedes because it has a Mercedes badge on the front, but. Now I just basically got 3 laps of trying to concentrate on driving and not spinning this thing out. Because maybe I shouldn't have brought it to this track. Although I'm glad it doesn't rain in this. You may have noticed it had... Well, no, because I didn't click on the option, but like... Basically this thing has wet tyres as well. Available. That I bought. Actually, that's one of the things that's in the update. And I don't quite understand why they've done it. But unless it gets them a lot of money. But like from sponsorship and whatever. But like they've added like new brands of tires. So they showed like you can get like Michelin tires now. But they seem like more expensive. So maybe they'll be worth getting them for this car. Being a credit grinding car, but I can't see myself just going into the auto shop and just always buying Michelin tires. For whatever car I'm getting. I mean, I don't even go into GT Auto and upgrade a lot of them anyway. I just get them. I might get the, well, actually, I was going to say I'll get the list up of the cars I'm putting in the next update. I'll do that at the end of this video, or I'll do it at the start of the next one. Actually, that kind of makes more sense. I mean, you guys will already know because this is coming out in like October, and it's the July update, so yeah, guys will obviously already know. But I guess just for like. It's a preservation reasons. Not really a thing. You know what I mean. Like, just for historical reference, I guess. Even though there'll be plenty of websites that will tell you that information. What was what was included in what. But I just thought I'd do it. Because I remember Gran Turismo 6, they added, like, I'll give Polyphony that, right? Okay, so, although, saying that, I was going to give Polyphony their dues over Turn 10 for not having DLC, and just giving the cars out for free. But when I started Forza Horizon 5, I basically got a bunch of free cars in my garage. So, maybe Turn 10 is learning? I don't know. Find out. Actually, that's one thing that's kind of annoyed me. I was planning on subscribing to it, like, because I don't pay for Xbox Live Gold or Xbox Live Game Pass Core, as it's called now. Stupid naming. Microsoft really know how to, like, completely ruin naming schemes, don't they? What was wrong with Xbox Live Gold? Anyway, right? So I don't pay for it anymore. Like, I only pay for one. Well, technically I pay for Switch Online, but that's only like 20 quid a year, so I'm not bothered, right? But whereas, like, I will pay for PlayStation Plus, or I will and get like the games included with it, right? Or I will pay for Xbox Game Pass for a year, right? Makes sense. I'm not going to pay for both. I don't really see the point. Anyway, right? So I'm like, but I was kind of like, well, maybe I can just pay for a month of Xbox Live Game Pass because, you know, I'll play Forza Motorsport, the new one, because I need to get around to playing it. And I want to kind of play Hi-Fi Rush because everyone's been kind of... And I know that's on PS5 now, but everyone was kind of like, oh, this is an amazing game. And I've seen some gameplay of it, and it looks kind of, you know, something I want to try, right? Okay, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll pay for Xbox Game Pass for a month, and I'll try both those games out. Why not, right? And then I'm looking at the prices, and I'm like, okay, good. I can get Game Pass for console for like 8 quid for a month. I'll do that. And then, literally that same day, Microsoft's like, oh yeah, we're putting up the price of Game Pass now, and we're getting rid of Game Pass for console. Like, you bastards, you know. Like, I would have actually paid that. You would have got that money. And now I'm like, I don't know. Like, I might just end up buying Forza Motorsport used. And well, I was gonna say I might end up buying Hi-Fi Rush, but you know they'd still be getting money off that because it's a digital game, but no physical version. But you know what I mean? Like, I could have paid, like, because there's no way I'm gonna get through like Forza Motorsport in a month and Hi-Fi Rush. So I was like, maybe I'll pay for like a year of it. But I'm like, nah, it's I use the PS5 a lot more because I have a lot more PS5 games, or PS4 and PS5 games now. I'm like, I'm using the PS5 a lot more than my Xbox One, my Series and my Series X. I'm not paying for like Xbox Game Pass when I have no need for it really. Anyway, we've done the weekly challenge, right? So let's end this video with going to the garage here. Oh, my car collection now. That'll be what the that'll be what that achievement or trophy was, wasn't it? Right. Okay. Let's get the credit tickets. There we go. Let's do the freestyle roulette ticket, which is probably not going to give us that much. Yeah, there's not a lot of money here. And of course, it gives me an invitation to get a Ferrari. It gives me a gives me 1,000,000 credits. And I'm pretty sure on both, I can't remember if the 1,000,000 credit one was in a video or not, but the invitation one obviously wasn't. And then, you know, it gives me a bloody suspension part, I think, for the what was it? The hell was it? Tundra. Oh wow, I'm glad I got that. I mean, I have the car, so why does it just not let you pick the car there and put it on? Stupid. Oh, the engine needs oil. Let's actually do that then. Let's end this and by going to GT Auto, doing the car main, and actually doing an oil change. I have never actually needed to do that. Voila. Right. Okay. Well, I've been Rob the Mod. Thank you very much for watching part 48 of Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5, and I hope to see you next time for more. Hurrah.